Welcome to another episode of The Finish Line. We got a special guest here today. We have Courtney from DLC. Thank you, Courtney, for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
She's been in the industry for a long time, and she's one of the main pillars in the agent support. She helps the agents to succeed and make sure they're doing the right thing to help the clients out. Courtney, tell us a little bit more about you.
Yeah, well, first off, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure. So my job here as an RVP at DLC really is kind of boots on the ground support for our franchise owners and our agents. Day-to-day things like training. I know we're going to get into some of the stuff like Gold Rush and Velocity and now AI, all the fun stuff that we have to offer here at DLC. It was a role really created to make sure that the franchise owners and agents felt like they had support. Because, it can be a little bit lonely, you're self-employed and you're kind of out there in the big bad world, but DLCG as a whole, because throughout our three brands, we do have support, felt it was important for the franchise owners and the agents to feel like, if they needed to reach out to somebody or they needed additional support, that they had somebody that they could call directly. So that's kind of what I do.
You've been with you guys. That's awesome. You've been helping us out a lot, which is amazing. In your view, what is the biggest misconceptions agents have today about joining a network, and how does DLC challenge that?
Yeah, so I think it depends. So depending on obviously where they're at in their career, we can talk about mortgage specialists maybe for a minute, because I know, we came from the bank world. A lot of your agents came from the bank world, and a lot of our mortgage brokers here at DLCG they were ex-bankers, right?
Correct.
I think one of the biggest challenges or misconceptions in their mind is that they're going to lose a powerful brand, right? Brand is super important. Your personal brand, your professional brand, it's very important. It builds credibility and trust. And I think for mortgage specialists, for example, at a bank, they stay there because they have that powerful brand behind them.
Correct.
So when they're thinking about making that jump over to, a mortgage agent, which, more self-employed, and it kind of feels like we talked about, like kind of on your own, they think they're going to lose that brand. DLCG as a whole, we originate more mortgages than any other bank, financial institution, credit union, mortgage finance company in Canada, right? So I think DLC has done a really great job at building credibility through TV advertisement, social media. Consumers know who we are. We're everywhere. So I think that's kind of the misconception. But then when we can show them, Dominion is a very recognized and known brand, and we do originate more mortgages, it helps. And I think too, then it kind of takes it to the point of, as a mortgage specialist, you come over, and I think when you come to Dominion, you're getting more tools in your toolbox. So now you're going to have access to that same lender you came from, right? You can still send business there, but now you have a wide range of options for your clients. So it provides you more options to help your clients, and you still have a very powerful brand behind you. So I think that's where Dominion has really done a great job in that brand recognition.
For us, was the same thing. When I made the jump from being a mortgage specialist from CIBC over, that was the main thing. Brand. How am I gonna, get my brand out there? But DLC already being there, established, powerful brand, that made it much easier for us and made us confident to make that leap of faith over to a broker space.
For sure. People want to work with people they know and trust, right? So
100%.
brand is super important. And I think, if you listen back to kind of Dominion's very early days, it's been, next year's going to be 20 years in the space. It went from, small mom and pop shops that nobody knew about, right?
Yeah.
And that's scary for a consumer. They're trusting you with the biggest transaction of their life, and they don't really know who you are or who you work for. At Dominion, it's very different. And I think, Gary and the whole DLCG group of companies have done a really great job at building that brand up and being so recognized now in Canada. And we are the #1 network. So
they've done a really good job. How is DLC evolving to stay ahead with this technology, whether it's technology or training, partnership within even the industry?
Yeah, so many changes at DLCG as a whole. I mean, I think most recently with the integration of AI, which we'll talk a little bit about today. Training. I mean, we have live webinars, we have video libraries, we have content basically everywhere for our agents. Exclusive partnerships, right? We just launched Heartwood Financial, only available to our DLCG agents. So we have that exclusivity with some of our lenders to help our agents stand out. Marketing and lead generation. We have an entire team of marketing professionals at DLC. So I always tell my agents, one of the things I think is so underutilized is the marketing team. It can be really expensive to get things made, whether it's business cards or, door banners, hangers, whatever it might be. At DLC, you have an entire team completely free and accessible at all times to create whatever you're looking for. So things like that, Newton and Velocity, are the most powerful platform. It was built by brokers for brokers. We're constantly evolving and changing it. I was reading a stat right before I came in here that mortgage agents in the last 3 months, 81 point, I think 3 or 6% said that they've used some sort of AI like Chat GPT.
Yes.
Well, you probably saw in, I think it was about a month ago now, that we integrated Chat GPT and Gemini directly into
Into
Velocity.
Velocity, yeah.
So we're always looking at ways to how can we make agents' lives easier? How can we make their process more efficient? How can we help them grow? And I think, again, just another reason why agents should be with, an agent like, come to Fin, and part of DLC is
Yeah.
all the tools that we have available, and we're constantly looking to elevate and change. We're constantly, investing in our people, investing in our technology, our marketing team. I kind of joke around all the time when I'm talking to like a potential new recruit to bring them over. We have this, DLC presentation that we do.
Yeah.
It is so overwhelming because there's so much stuff in it.
I've seen
but you
those.
don't really know what to cut out because everything is so good.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of it, right?
Yeah.
But again, I think as a network, we do the best in the industry. I fully believe that. I'm not going to say in my opinion. Sometimes I'm like, in my opinion, no, I truly believe that DLC is the best network in the space, and we are constantly looking to evolve and help our agents grow.
No, 100%. Even when you talk about technology, I've been around with DLC for about 9 years, coming into 10th years. I've seen every technology that they have incorporated. It started off with a small app, like a toolbox app on your phone, to like Velocity, to like Gold. I don't want to take the thunder away, but to all these different softwares,
Yeah.
and they're always like constantly pushing these softwares, and I think it makes it easier for us. And
Absolutely.
for some of these agents, it's expensive to get all these softwares, right? So they also somehow subsidize it,
Yeah.
right? Which is
Yeah.
amazing for us.
Yeah, you know what? You actually brought up a point. Thanks for saying that. The My Mortgage Toolbox app
Yes.
is another one that I love to talk about. Do you know what the most commonly Googled phrase is in the mortgage space by consumers? What do you think consumers are Googling the most? I feel like you know it. They're actually Googling, most people will say rates, but they're actually Googling mortgage calculators.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So part of being a DLC agent, everyone gets their own custom branded app,
Yeah.
right? With calculators. They are the best in the space. And what I tell my agents all the time is, when you're sitting down with a potential client or referral source, you have these open, you're running numbers with them. It can be interactive. It generates a beautiful PDF that you can share with them. Whether you're on the phone, you're making tweaks, it's updating real time. Consumers today are very tech savvy. They want everything available at their fingertips. And I always say, I'm like, if you don't share this app with everybody what they're going to do is they're going to have a conversation with you. Then they're going to go home. They're going to go on Google and they're going to Google that, mortgage calculators. And then what's going to come up?
Somebody else.
The big blue or the big red or whoever it is, or Rate Hub. And then they're going to put their information. And essentially now you have thrown your client or potential client to the Shark Tank.
100%.
Right? So just ways like that we're constantly looking of how can we stay ahead of the curve? How can we help our agents, gain more business, keep more business. So the MMT app, or the My Mortgage Toolbox app at DLC is what we call it. I know it's named something different for the other two brands, but a huge benefit. It's included, you get it, it's customized to you, and it
Which
works.
is amazing. I use it all the time, and it's amazing because clients play around with it. You get an automatic notification. So you can even call this lead down the road and be like, hey, listen, just wanted to follow up. So there's a lot of data built into it, which is amazing.
You can then take it, put it into your, CRM and have it reaching out to those people. Or I always give tips. It's like, you're working with a realtor. Let's say they're doing an open house. Make sure that realtor has your My Mortgage Toolbox.
They should have it.
Every single person that walks through the door, they should have them fill it out really quickly. Guess what? Now you, as the broker, is getting all that information of clients that have walked through. Maybe you've also used the My Marketing team to create a nice, co-branded feature sheet with you and that realtor. It's the opportunities I feel like are endless here of all the support that we can give.
And also Gold Rush, right? I think that's what we're going to roll into. I know, Gold Rush has changed a lot for me. So it's almost been 2 years, I think it's rolled out. I've seen it evolve from Gold Rush 1 to 2, different stages of it. It's become a big ecosystem part of it. It's one of the biggest ecosystem in DLC. Can you share what it is and how it supports our agents?
Yeah, so Gold Rush was essentially designed because we found, and this was actually quite shocking to me, that less than 20% of mortgage agents were utilizing a CRM.
Yeah.
And I always joke and I say this, and I'll tell my agents, you guys are great at finding business, but you kind of suck at staying in contact with them. And that is no fault of your own. You're busy, right? Like there's a million things going on. You're working deals, you're meeting new people. So what we did at DLCG, we created a CRM built into Velocity and then created Gold Rush to really take that pressure away from the agent to have to source their own CRM. We've made it really efficient with it being built into Velocity. So every time you do a deal, all that information is already captured. And if your Gold Rush is turned on, it's naturally, I say the cash register is just like ringing in the background. So what it is essentially, Gold Rush, I would say it's a marketing system. On average, your database will hear from you 31 times a year, depending on what you have turned on. And it's key sets of milestones. So things like birthdays, anniversaries, maturities, holidays. And it's available both through email and text. So we created both in there. A lot of external CRMs will only have, emails, but we also have the texting capability for optimal performance. Average email open rate 12 hours, average SMS open rate 90 seconds.
Pretty quick.
It's quick, right? And it's personalized. So for each individual agent and the network that they're with, and clients are going to remember you.
Yeah.
I think essentially that's really what it is in this industry, that if you are not staying top of mind with your database, somebody else is, and you will quickly be forgotten.
100%. I agree
Right.
with
So that's why Gold Rush is created. On average, agents say that they see up to a 70% boost in their volume when they turn on Gold Rush. I see it all the time. I joke with my DLC agents. I get angry sometimes. I'm like, if you're not on this, I don't know what you are doing. Like, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
It's included. It doesn't cost you money. It's a one-time setup.
And you guys set it up as well.
Yeah, you said you saw the early days where it was probably a little bit
We
more
had to
painful.
manually,
Yeah, you had to manually do it. You had to jump on a call for 2
Yeah.
hours or wait for someone to do it. We just launched 2.0. And which is great. You just quickly
one button.
toggle a button and it loads your entire Velocity CRM with all the campaigns, and then you choose which ones to turn on.
I think that's one of my other questions. If that's one thing, if a new agent has to do something with a Gold Rush, what would it be? And it's probably hitting that toggle button on the top.
Click the toggle button, turn your campaigns on, and play all of them.
Yeah.
There's 8 email campaigns and there's 4 SMS campaigns. Every single one of them should be turned on. I tell agents, try it out. Believe me, we're not just here to try to sell something for the sake of wasting our breath.
Yeah.
We've seen the stats. It works. And the agents that are using it see boost in volume. They're doing better numbers. I've never received a call saying this was a waste of my time. It's always, holy crap, I can't believe like a simple birthday message went out that I never would have remembered. And it triggered the client to remember that, oh, actually, no, I've racked up some debt. And is there any way you can help me maybe look at a refi? Or I remember in the Facebook group, I Love Mortgage Brokering, back in February, there was a family day one that went out, and it was a banana bread recipe. Okay. And it was kind of funny because some people were like, this is really random.
Yeah.
But the amount of just responses that people were just like, thanks for sharing. I made this with my family, and now you're having conversations. And oh my gosh, guess what? Yeah, my maturity's coming up, or I was talking to my friend, they need help. Like, it's amazing what it can do, and it's automated. And it's just automated. It's a no-brainer. I was actually with an agent yesterday for his kind of year-end COI appreciation event. He was a mortgage specialist for many years, came over to DLC a few years back, recently turned on Gold Rush, and it was a Thursday that we turned it, or a Wednesday that we turned it on. And by Thursday, he called me. He's like, we just turned it on last night. I have 4 active deals, live deals right now because of, he's like, I don't even know what was going out. Like, we turned all of them on. So he's like, it could have been a birthday email. I'm not sure what it was, but it triggered them to, thanks for remembering me. I actually want to talk to you. And he had 4 live deals. I mean, I hear these success stories all the time, so it's hard to pick one, but it's proven that it works.
Yeah.
And you don't have to do anything, right? It's automated. And I always say with new agents coming to DLC, it's the starting point. There's nothing that you need to do. It's kind of just done for you. But it's the start. And another way as an RVP, how I really like to kind of step in and support is, how do you now take your CRM game to the next level? I know you and I were chatting kind of before, and it was like mining your own database, if you currently have one, is so big today, right? So great Gold Rush is set up, but now, how do we go into Velocity and pull some custom reporting and send out even more educational content specific to your type of clientele, what they might need in the CRM? So it's like endless potential.
I'm a big user of it myself. Like, at the beginning, it was a hard letting go, letting the system do everything. And now I'm like, wow, I'm getting all these leads. I'm getting all these emails, text messages for birthday. I would have never been doing it myself. That's one thing. I'm not going to be texting 50 people every day saying, hey, happy birthday, happy maturity. The system does it. And it kind of allows you to be in touch with the client. And you just kind of have to, George Foreman thing. You said it, you can forget it, right? So that's what I've been doing. And it's been working for me, and I love it.
You know what? I'm glad you shared that. And what I say too, it's fully customizable as well. So you have options, whether you want us to manage it in the background for you, or if you want to just go in there and constantly be editing editing it, you can. But it's really up to the agent. Everyone can kind of do what they want with it. And yeah,
awesome.
I'm passionate about it. So DLC agents, if you're not on it, you need to get on it. Call me if you aren't.
She wasn't paid for this.
I was not.
How would you describe an ideal agent who thrives at DLC?
I think as long as you're a growth-minded individual, I think obviously in this business you have to, you are essentially an entrepreneur. You have to put in the legwork yourself. But I think at DLC, I truly believe we can help grow any agent. And I think where we really thrive is, how do we take that $5 million producer and make them a $10 million producer or $50 million to take them to a 70? And because of everything that we've talked about, right, all the investments that we do into our tech and our tools and the support and having an RVP and having, like guys like Chad and Stu who are out there hitting the ground every day, recruiting agents and trying to support franchise owners, bring new agents to their franchise. I think as long as you're somebody who is good with people, but is looking to have, a powerful brand behind you that allows you to do your thing and be who you are, but wants that extra leadership support, wants the extra, tools, the advanced technology. I mean, the world is ever changing. I think our industry, and you've been in it for so long, you've seen how much it's evolved and changed. And I think it's going to keep doing that. So, I truly believe that we can really help any agent, but as long as you have like the key qualities, you are going to work hard. You're going to put in the time.
Hard work.
You're going to put in the hard work. It's not an easy business, but at DLC and DLCG as a whole, I mean, I think we put a lot of legwork into trying to make sure that we have all of the tools and resources in place to make you as an agent more efficient, and then the support there to kind of back you up and help you get to your goals.
No, for sure. Like when I was making my transition from the banking world, not knowing the broker world is way different than the banking world. So just coming in was already a struggle. And then thank God I went to DLC who had all these tools and support system like Chad and Stu. They're one of the reasons we're here. Even with Gary Morris and all of them, they helped us out, come through. And even Eddie, they played a real big role in it, which was amazing. And you guys are true supporters of us. So, which is amazing.
Yeah, I feel like there's kind of like a million of us. Like there's
there's everywhere.
We're everywhere, and I remember when I first joined. I've only been here for about a year, but it was an easy decision. I mean, I don't think I necessarily thought I would ever be on the network side, but when I did decide to come over, I wouldn't have gone anywhere else. But you think
sense, blue to blue, right?
I went blue to blue. Yeah, I went blue to blue. But even with a banker coming over, it's already a big transition. But we we'll help you take your database and we'll help we'll import that all into Velocity for you. We'll turn on that Gold Rush for you. So you're not losing the database that you had where you came from. We're just helping you enhance it.
You guys really made it look like it's a plug and play.
Yeah, right.
Just take it and go.
Just take it and go.
Yeah.
And we're all here to support. I remember thinking that when I first joined. It was my second week, and Gary Morris, our founder and CEO, called and left me a voicemail. I never had met him before. It's just like, it's so nice to, talk to you, and I've heard great things, and we're all here to support. And for our franchise owners and our agents, whether it's myself or, Chad, Stu, Eddie, Greg out in BC, even Gary, like, he gives agents and franchise owners his personal phone number to call them if they need anything. Like, we are all here to support.
Call me, text me, anytime, whatever it is, anytime.
You'll see all of us on the Facebook groups. Like, everyone's kind of commenting, like, call me, what's the issue? Like, we genuinely care about our agents and our franchises. We want to help them grow. We want to see them succeed. And we're all hands on deck, and titles don't matter here. It's just, we all want to support and see. I
feel like the DLC team is very heavily involved, which is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Courtney, we're almost going to wrap up, but we have 2 more questions for you. If you had to describe Finn in a unique one sentence, what would it be?
I would say, you guys, I would consider you more a boutique style brokerage that is very much family oriented and really has an emphasis on supporting their agents. That's what I would describe you guys as. We have large franchises, we have small franchises. One of the big differences I see here is, number one, the team is being led by you. So not only are you doing your own business, right, but you're so passionate about helping your team grow and your agents succeed. I think you guys, 2016, then rebranded this year, funded over $1 billion. Fin Academy, right?
Fin Academy, yes.
I'm going to ask you a question. Yes. Talk to us about the Fin Academy, because I think that's a big differentiator, right?
You know what? When we started off the rebranding, one of the biggest thing was, we're bringing on these new agents, and what support are we going to give them? And that led me to one of my hires, Udit Rathi. He's one of the guys that was alongside by me that put together the Fin Academy. It's an 8 weeks training program that we block off 8 weeks, and we go every weekend, sit down with the agents. So we had about 2 sessions already, 2 waves, and we had about trained, I believe, about 16 agents, and 66% of them already started doing some deals. So in the 3 months of starting that program, they already started doing some deals, getting leads, which was one of the biggest success in the Fin Academy, which was an amazing thing for us.
That's awesome. Yeah, you know what? When I see agents that aren't happy with their franchise and looking to make a move, the number one complaint is they don't feel the support from their brokerage. Or when we're bringing on new recruits, they want to know, what does that franchise have to offer the new
Yes.
agents? Is there a hub? Is there someone I can help with, like help me with my underwriting and submitting to lenders? Is there any training?
Yes.
And I think too, I try to remind franchise owners, like if you're recreating the wheel, you don't necessarily have to if you don't want to, because there's so many tools in the back end that you can kind of utilize some of the stuff that DLC's already done and then put the Fin touch on it or change what you're looking for. But between, you as the franchise owner who's so heavily involved with your people and obviously doing such a great job. So congrats to you and the team.
Thank you.
And then, being powered by someone like Dominion.
The
I
backbone.
mean, yeah, like it's just
Yes.
up and up. Like
No,
bound
for
for
me,
success.
100%. That's one of the biggest reasons. Like, you guys had all the tools and everything, and you guys gave it to us, and we take it to the next level, pushing it out and make sure we bring the right crowd,
You guys are
right
doing a great
agents.
job.
Thank you.
And pat on the back to you because you are true. I think you're a true leader by example,
Thank you.
right? Not only are you doing your own volume and a significant amount of volume, I think it's probably very tough to be able to manage all your own stuff, growing a team, making sure the team feels supported, putting on academies, putting on things like this.
Yes.
So major
Thank you.
congratulations to you.
No, I have a great support team
Yeah.
that helps me out. They make sure that everything's taken care of while I'm not there.
Yeah.
Underwriting team, they all make sure every time we work on something, all hands on deck, which is very important. The Fin Academy was one thing, and also I think we have a great set of agents that we all collaborate together, which brings us all together. We're almost like family, which is great.
You're like a family.
Yes.
You're like
yes.
a family.
The last question of the day. What is one message that you want DLC agents, including those at Fin, to walk away today after listening to this episode?
Wow, that's a good one. I would say to our DLC agents, so Fin or anyone across the country with DLC, we are here to support you. We have the tools and the resources already in play for you, but I think it's very important, especially in the market that we're in today, where, it's been a little bit more challenging. It's been tougher. Kind of remind everyone, take it back to basics, reach out to, your RVP, myself, Eddie, Chad, Stu, whoever it might be. Because we do have so much training available. We have the tools and resources to help you succeed. I think sometimes it's just a reminder you need to take a reset. We want to help agents. We want to see you grow. We want to see you do well in this business. And we already have so much available. But like I said, whether you're, an older agent or someone new, there's definitely something you've probably forgotten about that's available, or something that you never heard of or knew that we had. So it's important, I think, just to kind of stay in touch with whether it's your franchise owner and your dedicated RVP, and just make sure, you're up to date with everything that's available to you. You're polishing up your own skills, right? Because things have changed a lot. There's always new advancements, and you have to, take it upon yourself to make sure that you're setting aside time to do that. But we are all here to support you. We want to see our DLC agents be the best, and I think we are the best in the business. But we're here to support, and reach out to us, and we want to help.
That's amazing. You summed it up. I think working together, you build that strong relationship. And I think one of the things that I have learned is, always rely back on people that have done it and they have established themselves. Like, DLC is a big brand. So if I ever run into trouble, I always ask Eddie or I ask Chad, whoever I can for support. And I think that's very important, having somebody that is almost like your quarterback that you can fall back when you need them. So yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, thank you for having me, and congrats again on all your success. And your team is great, and I'm glad to watch you guys kind of grow, and I can't wait to see what you guys do next year.
All right, guys, this sums up today's episode. We had Courtney from DLC, and thank you for everyone that watched us today. And Courtney, thank you so much for joining us. It was a pleasure hosting you today.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.